In this video we are going to talk all about SpaceX Falcon 9. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Slowly but steadily, SpaceX seems to be persuading NASA with its reuse strategy. The US Space Agency has already used multiple Falcon 9 boosters that have been reused, but this will be the first time that the same booster will be used for 3 missions. The CRS-18 and CRS-19 missions will be propelled by the same booster that propelled the Dragon space capsule on the CRS-17 flight. Dragon space capsules are also reused on a daily basis. This might encourage SpaceX to step ahead with Falcon 9 Block 5 reuse. The B-1048 booster will be used by Elon Musk's company for a flight to the Starlink constellation. This booster, on the other hand, has already completed 3 flights. The Falcon 9 launcher's Block 5 version has been planned to be reused several times. Each of SpaceX's boosters will be able to fly 10 times, according to the company. We don't yet know how much money SpaceX saves thanks to these reuses. However, it appears that SpaceX has persuaded NASA to use repurposed boosters. Despite the recent destruction of the Crew Dragon capsule, NASA seems to see SpaceX as a significant partner. The Falcon 9's third flight with the same booster has been postponed. No Falcon 9 has flown more than twice so far. Yesterday, SpaceX had intended to launch the same booster for the third time, but the launch was postponed. Additional inspections are being planned, according to the group. As a result, a new date should be announced as soon as possible. This will be SpaceX's 19th launch of the year. If all goes according to plan, the company will end the year with 22 orbital launches, 4 more than in 2017, which was already a record year. The Falcon 9 is NASA approved for scientific missions. The Falcon 9 rocket has just been qualified by NASA for its most critical missions. Mars rovers, space telescopes, and other discovery, new frontiers, and flagship missions will be able to fly on a Falcon 9. As a result, the Falcon 9 is poised to make its mark on the history of space exploration. The Falcon 9 Block 5's second launch was successful. For the second time, SpaceX has launched its Falcon 9 Block 5 rocket. This launch was notable for many reasons. The rocket delivered a satellite weighing more than 7 tons into geostationary transfer orbit. Despite this, SpaceX has successfully recovered the first stage of its launcher at sea. However, since SpaceX and its customer Telstar settled on an odd orbit, this excellent result is complex. Telecommunication satellites are usually launched into GTO 1500 or GTO 1800 orbits. They are put into a transfer orbit rather than directly into geostationary orbit. To achieve its final orbit, the satellite must have the final push on its own. When inserted in GTO 1500, a payload must provide a speed of 1,500 meters per second, and when inserted in GTO 1800, it must provide a speed of 1,800 meters per second. The Falcon 9 Block 5 launched its payload into GTO 2278 orbit on Sunday. As a result, the Telstar satellite must have a significant final boost on its own. It's almost like the launcher's third floor. This helps to understand its 7-ton mass. Propellers make up more than half of this mass. Telstar has been resourceful in exploiting the lower prices of a recovered Falcon 9. Other satellite operators may take note of this initiative. This will be SpaceX's first launch in the middle of the summer. The business plans to fly again tomorrow and then launch 2 Falcon 9 rockets in 2 days, on August 2nd and 3rd. Tomorrow's launch should be extra special because SpaceX will not only attempt to recover the first floor, but also the rocket fairing. Mr. Steven, some experiments have already been carried out using a boat fitted with a net, since the 2 halves of a rocket fairing are worth $5 million each. Mr. Steven was given a net 4 times greater than in previous attempts in order to maximize his chances of success. The rocket fairing does also collapse under a parachute, and it is impossible to predict where it will land with great precision. We also don't know how the first 2 Falcon 9 Block 5s fared during their return. SpaceX hopes to use them to make up to 10 flights a year with minimal maintenance. Despite SpaceX's desire to concentrate entirely on the BFR, the Falcon 9 will undoubtedly take a lot of attention before achieving these results. The Falcon 9 Block 5 is launched by SpaceX. The first flight of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket took place in 2010. The Falcon 9 is a medium-capacity launcher that provides nothing especially noteworthy in its initial form. Elon Musk and his business, on the other hand, continue to claim that the Falcon 9 would revolutionize the space launcher market. The Falcon 9 has gotten a lot of attention over the last 8 years. The rocket has undergone constant development in order to improve its performance and, in particular, to become a partially reusable booster. As a result, a Falcon 9 from 2018 will launch twice as many payloads into space as a Falcon 9 from 2010. Multiple test versions and 54 test flight rockets were used to make this development. However, this phase of production is coming to an end. SpaceX wants to give its launcher a final form. The first Falcon 9 Block 5 flew away with Bangladesh's first telecommunications satellite last Friday. The flight, including recovery, went off without a hitch. Elon Musk gave some information on the new features of the Falcon 9 Block 5 during a press conference a few hours before the launch. It is planned to become the safest launcher in history, which is understandable given that it must carry the Dragon V2 capsule and its crew. As a result, the rocket's second stage has been modified. It now has a helium reserve, which is used to hold propellant tanks under pressure. The explosion of the launcher in 2016 was triggered by the rupture of this tiny helium balloon. The tank was updated in the Block 5 version to support more than twice its operating pressure. Furthermore, the rocket benefits from a number of enhancements, including an increase of 8% in the thrust of the first-stage Merlin engines. On the second floor, the only Merlin is growing at a rate of 5%. The first floor frame that supports the 9 Merlin engines has been reinforced. The reference design for the rocket now includes titanium railings. These modifications must enable each Falcon 9 Block 5 to launch at least 10 times with minimal maintenance. Next year, the company expects to demonstrate this capability. The same Falcon 9 rocket will be fired twice in less than 24 hours, requiring minimal maintenance. Elon Musk is certain that his buyers would choose to fly on a used Falcon 9, and that the new Falcon 9 will ultimately be less costly than those that have already flown, reversing the current situation. Over the next 5 years, SpaceX plans to develop 30 to 40 Falcon 9 Block 5 aircraft to complete approximately 300 flights. The BFR will be released after that. For at least a few years, the Falcon 9 Block 5 has been in use. There will be no Falcon 9 Block 6 despite the fact that SpaceX will almost probably make slight improvements to the final version. The company is also working on increasing the thrust of its Merlin engines. For the Falcon 9, SpaceX would have to make a strategic decision. The Falcon 9 Block 5 is scheduled to make its debut this month. It is planned to be repeated 10 times with a maintenance gap of less than 48 hours between each flight. The Falcon 9 Block 5 adds new features and is expected to be the most recent Falcon 9 update. We used to have novelties for almost every flight, and it's almost become a SpaceX trademark. In the space industry, it is customary not to make any changes between major iterations of a rocket. However, NASA wants the Falcon 9 Block 5 to be launched 7 times without modification in order to apply for manned flight. There will be a tough decision to make if this latest iteration of the rocket does not meet SpaceX's standards for reuse. Either way, SpaceX will keep developing the Falcon 9 until it finds the right recovery formula. In this scenario, the Crew Dragon's first flight would most likely be delayed for months or years. Either SpaceX abandons production of the Falcon 9 and sticks to a fixed version as intended, but the company's business model might not be able to withstand a low reuse rate. The Falcon 9 Block 5 is expected to launch on April 24, following the launch of the TESS Space Telescope. On February 22, the latest Falcon 9 Block 3 was launched. The Falcon 9 Block 3 flew away for the last time on February 22. It was the first floor of the rocket's second flight, but it was never recovered. Both Falcon 9 launches from now on will be Block 4 and Block 5. A test area for the Block 5 variant of the rocket was also seen yesterday. A black inter-floor connection was mounted, which is unusual for a rocket. While waiting for the Falcon 9 Block 5 to launch, SpaceX continues to conduct experiments on almost every flight, as is customary. After launching a satellite weighing more than 6 tons into geostationary orbit, SpaceX will attempt to land the first stage of its rocket on a barge at sea on its next flight. This mass normally necessitates the use of an unrecovered first floor. It's a fantastic way to commemorate the Falcon 9's 50th flight. What are your thoughts on our video? Do you want to share more with our audience? Please let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to hear from me again, please subscribe and turn on the notification before leaving. Thank you for watching us.